What's up, guys? Welcome back to Finance to Fly. My name is Luke and I'm here to help you elevate your travel while minimizing your spending. Today we are going to be comparing head-to-head the Hilton Aspire card and the Marriott Brilliant card. So first things first, let's jump in onto sign-up bonus and the annual fee. Annual fee for the Hilton card is $550, while the sign-up bonus is 150,000 points after $6,000 spent in the first 6 months. Marriott is $650 and 100,000 points after $6,000 spent in the first 6 months. For earnings rates, Hilton is going to earn 14 points per dollar spent on Hilton hotels, 7 points per dollar spent on flights, car rentals, and US restaurants, and then 3 points per dollar spent everywhere else. Marriott, you're going to earn 6 points per dollar spent on Marriott purchases, 3 points per dollar spent on flights and restaurants, and then 2 points per dollar spent everywhere else. And the big thing is with these points, Marriott does have somewhat of a more value than Hilton. It is not like what it was a couple years ago where Marriott was way ahead of Hilton, probably double the value. Marriott is probably at a 0.75 cent per point value, while Hilton is at a 0.5 cent per point value. Marriott points are a little harder to earn, Hilton are a little lot easier to earn. Hilton are easier to redeem, Marriott are pretty easy to redeem too. Let's jump into the credits on the Hilton side first. You're going to get that $400 Hilton Resort credit. That's $200 biannually. You'll get the $200 flight credit, which is $50. You'll get the Hilton Diamond status. You're going to get that free night award each year, and you're going to get it as well as at $30,000 in spend and $60,000 in spend. You can get a Clear Plus membership, and you're going to get travel and purchase protections. On the Marriott side, you're going to get a $300 dining credit, which is $25 a month, 25 Elite Night credits, Priority Pass, Marriott Platinum status, and 85,000 point free night award, global entry / TSA pre-check credit, travel and purchase protections, and on both cards you can get no foreign transaction fees. And so now to compare the two cards, after I just kind of did a brief rundown of each annual fee, sign-up bonus, earnings rates, and the benefits, comparing the annual fees and the sign-up bonuses, you can see obviously one is cheaper. That's the Hilton. Hilton is $100 cheaper on the annual fee, and you're earning more Hilton points on the sign-up bonus with the same amount of spend. Marriott does have a little bit higher value than Hilton, but is it that much to where the sign-up bonus is only 100,000 points while Hilton's 150? No, it's definitely not. Marriott's sign-up bonus should be just around the same as Hilton's. The card's more expensive, and Marriott's points are just not as valuable as they think they are. They've devalued them over the last 2-3 years to a point where they're close to Hilton, like I mentioned before, around 0.75 cents per piece, where Hilton's is at 0.5. Marriott used to be at around 0.89, 0.9 cents per piece, so they really dropped the value on their points, so I don't think 100,000 points really gets you excited for signing up on this card. Every once in a while they do have a couple free night awards or whatnot, but I think they really need to change the sign-up bonus, and I think their Brilliant card needs to actually be refreshed. On that note, I do have to say Hilton card wins this round. And moving into the earnings rates, it's pretty simple. Hilton earns a lot more points than Marriott, not to mention when you get those two statuses, you got Hilton Diamond status and you got Marriott Platinum status. Marriott Platinum status, you're going to get 75% more bonus points on your stays. Hilton, you're going to get 100% bonus points. So on earnings rates, of course, you see 14 and 6. And it's pretty simple. Hilton is kicking Marriott's butt on these earnings rates. Hilton, when you have this top tier diamond status and you have this card, when you put your Hilton's card spend on it, you're going to get 34 points per dollar spent on it. On the Marriott Platinum side, you're going to only get 50% bonus on your 10 points you automatically earn with Marriott, being a Marriott member, and you're only going to get around 21 points per dollar spent. That's a 13-point difference in terms of earnings, and if you spend, say, $10,000 on hotels, which I think a lot of people do, especially when they're business traveling and doing stuff like that, or you're staying at a luxury resort, if you're picking between a Waldorf Astoria and St. Regis, $10,000 is not out of the ordinary to spend on a hotel, especially if you're staying 4 or 5 nights with a family. If you're putting $10,000 on this card, you're going to get 340,000 points with your Hilton Aspire card, and you're only going to get 210,000 points with your Marriott card. The 340,000 points are, you're almost at another free night stay, depending on where you're at. You're another $10,000 like that spent away. Marriott, you're really far. You're at least $20,000 more spend before you get a nice free night award, 5-night award at the same hotel. Hilton, you just earn so many more points, not to mention 7 points per dollar spent on flights, car rentals, and restaurants. Marriott, it's only 3 points per dollar spent on flights and restaurants. The bottom earning rate, okay, 3 versus 2. I mean, I think that's kind of marginal on who wins there, but just the top tier you're spending. If you're spending at a Marriott or a Hilton, you're going to drastically earn more points per dollar spent on Hilton. And so that's why I do give Hilton another win on this category, is they are kicking Marriott's butts in terms of earnings rates. And I think Marriott's going to probably have to refresh everything at some point if they continue to devalue their points, because the card earnings rates just don't make sense. And so now that Hilton is up 2 categories to 0 against Marriott, let's go into the third and final category, the credits. And again, this is pretty simple. Marriott, you're going to get a dining credit that you have to use once a month, which is 12 credits. And on Hilton, you're going to get the 2 resort credits and the 4 airline credits, which is 6 credits. Hilton, you have $600 in credit value. At Marriott, it's $300. You have half the amount of credits to use. With Hilton, sure, they're a little bit more restrictive and a little bit harder to use, and you actually have to stay at Hilton's. But if you're getting the Hilton card, aren't you staying at Hilton's already? Aren't you traveling? Why would you have a travel card if you don't travel? The Marriott card, you get the 85,000 point free night award, and you can stack that with another 15,000 points, which are pretty hard to earn. It's not worth as much as it used to be. With Hilton, you get the uncapped free night award. Those are major differences. Hilton, you're getting diamond status. It's not the top tier, but it is the second to highest tier status with that diamond status. Marriott, you're getting their platinum status. It's just enough to get breakfast. It's their middle status, and with all their elite night credits and promotions and the fact that you get 15 from pretty much every card they have, you can stack that with the business card. It's not hard to earn platinum status with Marriott. Not to mention, when you go into the smaller perks, smaller details, Marriott does win with the priority pass. But in terms of like traveling, if you use Clear and TSA pre-check credit, Clear is on the Hilton card, which is over $200 each year, and the TSA pre-check credit is $120, and it's every 4 or 5 years. There's a just massive difference on the credits when comparing these 2 cards, and it's totally in favor of Hilton. Hilton is dominating Marriott in this space, and honestly, if Marriott wants to compete, they have to completely revamp the card, and they can't increase the annual fee. $300 in dining credit, sure, that's great. It's pretty easy to earn. You can do it at any restaurant, but if I'm getting a hotel card, I would like credits to help me stay at your hotels. Why don't you give me a $200 Moxie credit? You can make it super specific, make it towards your hotels. Why wouldn't you use your hotels as your credits like Hilton does? $200 resort credit 2 times a year, a $50 flight credit 4 times a year. Simple. Marriott, you have 12 $25 dining credits that sure, it's easy to use, but it's not related to hotels. If you have a hotel card, you want your credits to be related to the hotel. I mean, sure, it's easy to earn, but you're still not even earning your annual fee back with the credit like Hilton does. And so now that we've compared all 3 and have determined a clear winner with it being Hilton, let's go into my thoughts on these cards and what could change and what do I think. First off, I have 2 Hilton Aspires. I have 0 Bonvoy Brilliance. I got actually 2 base Ritz-Carlton cards, which I didn't want to compare just because I think it's a little bit more confusing when you're comparing 2 Marriott cards to 1 Hilton card. But either way, Brilliant card is a niche card. It's nice to have the free night award, and it's nice to have the $300 in dining. But if I'm going to spend $300 in dining, I'd rather do it on my own terms and not have to split it up $25 each month. On Hilton's side, though, you get so many more credits, and it's just such a landslide when it comes to comparing these 2 cards. You can argue that Marriott points are worth more. They really aren't. If you look at all your award space, you can't use that free night award at half the hotels anymore because they price them out of the range. And with all that dynamic pricing, you're either going to get a $200 or $300 room for 60, 70,000 points, or you're going to get a 102,000 point room for $1,400-$1,500 a night, where you can't use the free night award to get that full value. You're going to have to settle with that $200 or $300 value. Of course, there are unicorns where you're going to get that 85,000 point free night award to work for $900. I've done it myself. Just got to book during a peak season and get a last minute hotel, or just be very diligent in where you're looking for in terms of using this. It's really simple. I think I laid it out pretty clear. The Hilton card is just way above Marriott in terms of things. I think Marriott needs to change it. I think they actually need to revamp it. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, and they increased the earnings rates in the cards to around 10 points per dollar spent on Marriott properties, probably 5 points per dollar spent on restaurants, and maybe even gas, then 3 points per dollar spent everywhere else. I think that would make it more interesting on the earnings rates, maybe even give a higher level status. And then I'd also probably just change the $300 dining credit and make it towards a hotel credit. Give me 4 hotel credits worth $150 each quarter, and you gotta use them at a Marriott property. You can limit it to luxury or whatnot, but give me hotel credits. If I have a hotel card, I want to use it for hotels, give me hotel credits. And so who I think these cards are for, honestly, if you're a Marriott guy, of course you're gonna look at the Marriott card, but I would look at the Ritz-Carlton card before this card. Ritz-Carlton card is cheaper, you get the same value, and you have less credits to earn, only 2, one $300 travel credit and the free night award. If you're a Hilton guy, the Hilton Aspire card is great. I'm a Marriott guy. I like to stay at Marriott's more. I got more status with them, more nights stayed with them overall. I still choose the Aspire card over the Marriott card just because it's got so much more perks and value in terms of maximizing your rewards. And so now I want to hear your thoughts on the cards. What do you think? What do you think of my comparison? Do you think Marriott should change anything? What do you think on Hilton winning all 3 categories? Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And if you could hit that like and subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. Until next time, have a great day.